Thank you, Chairman DeFazio and Ranking Member Graves. I speak today in opposition to this legislation. Investing in our country's infrastructure is one of the most important jobs entrusted to the federal government. The promise of this year's highway reauthorization package offered the opportunity for compromise and bipartisanship in a time of divide. Unfortunately, this bill we are marking up today misses the mark for a number of reasons. This bill was an opportunity to put aside partisan differences and work together to accomplish a goal we all agree that needs to be done: rebuilding our country. Once again, though, my Republican colleagues and I were kept away from the negotiating table, and our input was neither requested nor listened to, confirming the worst frustrations of the American people about Washington's dysfunction. Congress holds a responsibility to the American taxpayers. We are entrusted to use their money responsibly and in their best interest. I cannot imagine most taxpayers feel we are using their money effectively today. This infrastructure bill should have been the opportunity to start bridging our country's urban-rural divide. Instead, rural communities were forgotten in order to promote big city interests. That is wrong. Rebuilding America's infrastructure in both our cities and our rural communities is essential to provide the opportunity for all Americans to thrive. Today, I will be offering an amendment to this legislation to expand the definition of rural communities, but that alone is not enough to fix a profoundly and fundamentally flawed bill. Investing in infrastructure is the first step to unifying and connecting our country. The improvements we make will lay the foundation to create new, stable, well-paying jobs and develop a modern workforce. To do this, we must prioritize all areas of our economy, including our agriculture, energy, and manufacturing sectors. I remind my colleagues that Americans still need to eat, and they still need to power their homes and vehicles. American trade deals rely on our innovative products, our high-quality goods, and our world-renowned services. Linking our resource-rich regions to the rest of the country and the world should absolutely be a priority for any reauthorization package we vote on. Sadly, my colleagues across the aisle ran a bait and switch. They forfeited and siphoned funding from the core programs of past surface reauthorization packages to focus on far-left pet projects. These tactics will not rebuild America's infrastructure, but rather slow progress further into bureaucratic quicksand. Our country begins to reemerge from this disastrous impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, and now is not the time to hinder our state transportation agencies' flexibility by earmarking funds and creating burdensome mandates and regulation. This just scratches the surface of my opposition to this bill. I look forward to the opportunity to collaborate on legislation to rebuild our failing infrastructure, create jobs, and connect our country. I urge my colleagues to vote against this legislation and for my friends across the aisle to open a meaningful dialogue so that this committee can be all that it can and should be, so that we can deliver on our promise of real progress for the American people. I yield back my time.